Here's the lead guitar solo from the introduction to Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. 3, 4, 1. A lot going on in this beautiful solo, one of my favorite guitar solos of all time. This solo has slides, half bends, full bends, pre-bends, vibrato, double stops, pull-offs, double pull-offs. That about covers most of the embellishments that your fretting hand is going to do as a lead guitar player. And yet, it's super tasteful, and it's not that hard. And it even comes in 4 bite-size segments, a fantastic example of phrasing. In case you're not sure what phrasing means as a lead guitar player, this solo has beautiful phrasing. One of my favorite guitar solos of all time. Are you ready? Let's do it. I'm going to break the solo down into the 4 parts. Actually, what I'm going to do is really teach you the 4 individual parts one at a time from this great solo. All right, so of course you'll see the tablature on the screen here. So what I really want to help you with is making good finger choices for your fretting hand. Middle finger, that first slide, from 2 to 4. Index finger, index on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. Ring finger on the 5, middle finger 4, on the 3rd string back to 3. Okay, so far, middle to index, ring, middle, index. Now, everything changes for our first taste of our real excitement, a double pull-off. Okay, ring finger 4 on the 3rd string, pulling off to 2 on the 3rd string with the index fingers. Notice how I have both my ring and my index down at the same time? You got to do it for a double pull-off. Okay, both down at the same time. I pluck and let go of them slowly and steadily. First the ring finger, and then the index. Okay, with practice, you'll get 3 nice distinct sounds, although realistically, the first note, that 4, is going to be louder than the next 2. And that 2 is going to be louder than the 0 that comes after it. Okay? Finally, this is the last little part of the first phrase, a slide on the 5th string. I like to use my middle finger. I'm sliding from 1 up to 2. You could certainly use your index finger. For some reason, my middle finger feels like the natural choice. Okay? There you have what I would consider to be the most appropriate, most practical fingering for the first section. Section number 2, index finger. Ready for this? These beautiful sliding double stops. I just do that all with my index finger. Nice and flat across both of the skinny strings. Now, for the next 2, the next sliding, I like to use my middle and ring, okay? I can't even tell you why, but it just feels like the right thing. In this case, I'll defer to you. You don't have to use your middle and ring fingers, but to me it feels like the right thing, and I recommend it. Remember, whatever choice you make, my choice or your own choice, you got to commit to it and stick to it once you make up your mind and practice it that way every time. You don't have to decide immediately, but after a couple of practice sessions, whatever fingering you decide on, commit to it, okay? And master it with that fingering. So here in the second phrase of the solo, I'm using my ring finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, middle finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and I'm sliding up to 4 and 5, and sliding right back down, and then my middle finger to that pull-off. Pull off on the 3rd string. Notice my ring finger staying down. There's no reason to lift it off. And then essentially the phrase, that little melodic slide happens again. So essentially it happens twice. The timing is slightly different the second time. We'll talk about that in a second. But the physical movement is the same. Now this is the killer. And when I played this solo for you a moment ago at the very beginning of our video, I was worried I wouldn't nail this. I wouldn't stick that landing. Not because this is a particularly difficult thing. It's just personally for me, it was tricky to get there quickly. And I'll tell you what I use as my strategy to hopefully nailing that every time, especially when I'm shooting a video for my website. I'll tell you my strategy in a second. I again use my middle and ring fingers. I'm talking about the 4 and the 5 on the 3rd and 4th strings respectively, at the end of what I would call the second phrase. Again, middle and ring just feels right to me. You do not have to use those 2 fingers, but it just feels right to me. Okay, now how do I hopefully guarantee I nail that every time? My trick is being so comfortable with what came before it that my eyes are actually looking at the 4th and 5th fret. Even when I'm doing this thing, when I'm playing that, my eyes are pretty much already planning ahead to hopefully stick that landing, just like those wonderful Olympic gymnasts when they stick the landing. There's your inspiration. You got to stick that landing, okay? I'm definitely not watching down here as I glide back to the 3-2 and do the pull off. I'm already looking ahead. And most of the time, that serves me pretty well. Okay, 3rd phrase. You ready? Here comes the 3rd phrase. Notice there's a recurring motif. Again, an example of great taste in a solo. Here, we have that same, it's coming back to us, right? That actually happens 3 times. That classic 2-4 slide, followed by 3 in the 2nd skinny string. Recurring motif, a great idea for a solo. One more concept I want to throw out there as I'm praising this solo. To me, this solo strikes a perfect balance of something that sounds almost composed ahead of time, but still manages to sound a little bit spontaneous, like the guitar player in the studio, David Gilmour, has not 100% made up his mind what he wants to do. He's trusting his instinct at the moment. I have no idea. I wouldn't even attempt to read his mind. I'm just saying that as a listener, what I hear in this solo is a perfect balance before something that he planned out ahead, but he left a room for a little spontaneity. I don't know, but I love it. Okay, I digress. Phrase number 3. Okay, middle finger, index back to the middle finger note, and look, my ring finger is just waiting there for a job to do at the 5th fret, and that's going to be significant. At the 5th fret, puts in a little vibrato on that note. So what I do, I land on that 5, right? But I quickly hop my middle finger over, so now I have a line of fingers all on the 2nd skinny string. Ring on 5, middle on 4, index on 3. Why is that significant? Because I want to do the same thing David Gilmour does. I want to add a little vibrato on that final note. Okay, a little vibrato, help it sing a little bit. Now, vibrato is an extremely quirky technique. There's a lot of ways of doing vibrato. Some people are known for a classic personal vibrato sound. B.B. King owns his vibrato sound. His vibrato lives on, even though the man is gone. His beautiful guitar skills and technique live on, and his vibrato was something that was instantly recognizable. Now, this is not a lesson on vibrato, but simply to get the vibrato sound that is appropriate here, it's really going to help you to have all 3 fingers down on the same string. Okay, I think you get the idea there. All right, now it's nice to end up on 5. Why? Because what's coming up next, a pre-bend. I just play that note, I give it some vibrato. Now, I'm going to give it a nice little half bend. A half bend in this case means my 5, hopefully, is going to sound like the 6th fret. This note is going to sound like this note. Okay, that's what's known as a half bend. Okay, I'm going to pre-bend it before I even pluck it. Then I'm going to pluck it, release it. Release just means to let it come back to its natural position, and then pull off to the 3rd fret. Hey, how fortunate. My index finger is waiting there on the 3rd fret anyways. I'm going to do as slowly as I can, just so you can hear the motion of what's happening. And just to finish off those last few notes to finish this phrase. It's subtle, right? Now, some of you may be mastering this as I speak. Fantastic. Some of you might be thinking, ooh, give my fretting hand a workout here. It's understandable. If you're playing acoustic guitar like David Gilmour is, like I am, the strings are that much harder to bend than on electric guitar. If you're playing electric guitar right now, you got a little bit of an advantage here. Some people would go as far as recommending to replace your traditional third string on the acoustic guitar with what's known as a unwound or plain steel string. Essentially, it would be the same feel, the same color, the same look as your first two strings. Even though this bend that we're talking about is on the second string, I thought I'd just throw in that little tidbit of information. People who do a lot of bending on acoustic guitar will sometimes decide to take off the wound third string and go down to your guitar store and buy an unwound third string. They'll know what you're talking about. Okay, so the pre-bend concept. Even a little vibrato on that too. Now your index finger is the only finger down there. Give it a little shake. Okay, I'm both tugging down towards the floor and pressing in towards the guitar. And then that phrase comes to a wrap up. Okay, 4, check it out. I'm on the third skinny string, 4 with my ring finger, but I'm going to give that a half bend. So I'm not going to make my ring finger do all that work. My middle finger, same string, 3rd fret, index, same string, 2nd fret. I'm going to bend 4 so it sounds like 5. Here's 4. Here's 5. Pretty healthy bend, even for what's known as a half bend. It still takes some muscle. Followed by a full bend. Okay, let me walk you through this. A half bend, I'm using 3 fingers, half bend. And I catch it a little bit with my hand because all of a sudden I've got to abandon that bend, go over to my second skinny string for this 3 with the index, 5 with the ring finger. This is crazy, right? We're down here in what's known as second position, 2, 3, 4. Here's my bend. Okay? As quickly as I can, I deaden the string with the edge of my hand over here. And as quickly as I can, I jump to a different string, a higher position. Higher position meaning the index is now on the 3rd fret. Okay? I jump back to where I was on the 3rd string, ring finger on 4, for a 3-finger full bend. Back to that 2. There's a lot going on here, right? Thankfully, you can practice this solo one phrase at a time. We're just wrapping up the 3rd of the 4 phrases, okay? So work on one phrase at a time. The first, 3rd, and 4th phrases have a lot in common. The second phrase is really unique with all those slides. But anyways, the bottom line is this is a fantastic solo. It's worthy of your time. Don't feel you have to master it and process it all at once. Take one phrase at a time. Okay, lastly, the final phrase, the 4th phrase. Notice I did my same slide with my middle finger. 3 in the second string, but it's a staccato note, staccato, short. So 2 ways to get that staccato sound, to deaden that sound, edge of your hand, but also by relaxing your pressure. Notice I didn't say lift the finger off the guitar, I just relaxed my hand, right? And the sound obviously disappears. There's that 5, that little vibrato. Next, 5 with a full bend, 3 fingers. As much as possible, whenever you can, anytime you're bending a note, try to get as many fingers on that same string as possible. So here's 5 with a full bend. I'm going to pluck it again while it's already bent. This is my second pluck. And I'm going to do that release, pull off. Hear that? And here's my another 3-finger bend, 4 on the 3rd string. All right. And then here's your segue into the verse of the song, right? A 4-finger G chord. Ring and pinky on the 2 skinny strings, 3rd fret. index and middle on the 2 bass strings. Okay, a 4-finger G chord. Middle finger 6th string 3rd fret, index finger 5th string 2nd fret. Just a nice light little down up down. Okay, whew, what a workout. All right, now if this solo comes easily to you and you're ready to add it to your repertoire of lead guitar solos, fantastic. For most of us, take one chunk at a time. Work your way through one piece at a time. I can promise you the work you do on phrase number 1 will directly help you with phrases 3 and 4. They're a little bit harder, but phrase number 1 sort of gets you going. Okay, and that prepares you a little bit for phrases 3 and 4. Phrase 2 is a whole different animal, those nice sliding double stops. Double stop, by the way, is the sound, or the sound and the grip and the feeling of, say, a 3-3. Okay, some people might associate that with Chuck Berry, the king of the double stops. 2 skinny strings, in this case 6 and 6. Anyways, I digress. Continue on in your pursuit of lead guitar solos. I'm going to keep finding some classic solos for you to play that sound good on electric guitar, might even sound good on acoustic guitar, like this one does here. And you're going to learn a lot of great riffs, things that you can start to use in your own lead guitar playing as you begin your own journey as a lead guitar player. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.